Hey guys, it's your girl Black Lotus, aka your Flexi Bestie, and we're in day one of the 30-day bottoms up challenge to accomplish your best inversion yet with the Flexi Besties. So let's get into our drills and our poses today that are going to help you have a stronger, more confident approach to your inversions. And these are all supportive drills, motions, movements, exercises that you can do daily, whether you do 2 sets, maybe 30 seconds each, 2 sets, maybe 10 each, whatever your body can handle now. If you keep on being consistent, it'll be able to take on even more later. So let's get into the first set of drills that are designed to help you to warm up the wrist and to prepare to come upside down. So we'll start with some wrist circles. I like to bring my palms together and then trying to keep the back of the hands together as well. We'll rotate the wrist so the back of the hands meet and then the palms kiss and touch. Okay, so we'll do 4 rolls forward and 4 rolls backwards. You can go up to 8. You can do this as frequently as you need to. If you're learning handstands, this is a great way to release tension and pressure from the wrist, or just to reset your wrist for going upside down again. So you'll see me do this often in our handstand portion of the practice because a lot of the weight from the body tends to make the wrist a little tired. Okay, so we'll do a few rounds of our wrist circles and then we'll release that and we can get into another drill to warm up the wrist and the forearms, starting with the finger spread. And we're just gonna open and close. This is one of my favorite ways to get everything fired up in the forearms and the wrist and fingers. Now moving on to drill 3, we'll place the hands down, spread the hands so they're shoulder distance. You can even spread the feet so they're hip distance. And we want to essentially stack the shoulders over wrists, stack the hips over knees. We'll come with the palms down. I hope you guys can see me okay. So the palms are gonna come down and then we're gonna lift the palms slightly off the ground while keeping fingertips engaged. So this is another great way to bring some energy, bring some life into the wrist. So we'll lift the palms, we'll lift the meaty part of the palms, and we'll keep those fingers down. And that's our third drill. Now moving into our shoulders. Our shoulders are going to be the most important part about inversion. So typically when we're inverting, we're using a lot of stability in the shoulders. So if you lack stability in the shoulders, if you lack shoulder strength, if you lack shoulder flexibility, this can cause, and more than likely does cause, a lot of issues with your approach to inversions. Maybe even your stamina in inversions. Maybe, you're strong enough to come upside down, you lift weights, or you work out, or you can hold your own body weight. But if the shoulders are lacking stability or flexibility, that can create some issues. So shoulder strength is probably the most underutilized, undervalued skill about inversion. So we're going to get into some drills that help increase your shoulder stability, your shoulder strength, and then we might even do some mobility at the end. Okay, so we'll start simple. Coming back into your tabletop position. Top shoulder stack over the wrist, hips over knees. And just a little quick warm up we can do to get the body engaged, the core engaged. This is also for the shoulder stability as well, but we'll start simple. So we'll reach out with one arm, one leg. Coming into bird dog, it'll be the opposite leg, opposite arm. So if you have your right arm out front, your left leg will extend behind you. And then you'll place the hand back down and vice versa. So we'll switch sides. Now maybe left arm out front, right leg behind. Come down. Inhale to reach out. The wrist in line with shoulder. The back ankle in line with back hip. Engage the core. Come down. Inhale, reach out. Exhale to hold. Maybe inhale to release. Take whatever breath pattern works for you. But engage the core. Steady yourself. And try not to wobble through the hips, through the shoulders. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come back down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Now coming back down to your tabletop position, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We can extend the legs long, coming into a full plank. Plank is one of the most important poses for inversions as well, whether that's forearm plank or your real plank. So if you can't hold a plank for more than 10 seconds, that could be your issue with your inversions. Engage the core. We're not dragging the hips down, so the hips aren't low. The hips are in line with the shoulders. The hands are over the wrist. Or I'm sorry, the shoulders are over the wrist and pressing into the hands in order to create some engagement through the fingers. Now if you get tired, press back to your downward facing dog. This will be our next drill. Down dog to high plank. So we don't move the feet, we don't move the hands, we roll and we control the shoulders. The shoulders guides where the weight is going in our inversions. So engage the core, really press the ground away. Hold that plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we press back for our downward facing dog. If you like, you can adjust the feet. You can find a comfortable position. You can even walk the dogs. Hamstring flexibility helps us for our inversions. So although we're engaging the core, although we're also finding that pushing motion through the shoulders, this is still a great release for low body, for hamstrings, for the back of the shins, the back of the knees, the glutes, the back. Inhale, roll forward. One more time for our high plank. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep pressing through the ground. And 1. Send those shoulders back. So instead of the shoulders stacking over wrists, when we push to our down dog, the shoulders are allowed to extend beyond the wrist, which helps take the pressure off the wrist, out of the arms, out of the shoulders. We send that we shift that weight, and it's now coming into the back of the body. So notice, we inhale, roll forward, shoulders over wrist. The weight is now over the hands, coming down from the shoulders, because that's where the load is, into the ground, into the hands. When we press back for downward facing dog, the weight releases. Height of it is at the hips, sending it into the legs. So that was our second shoulder stability drill. We can come down, take a moment off the shoulders, into our child's pose, so the hips are going to reach back towards the heels. The upper body can extend long down the mat. Your forehead can touch the mat. Maybe the heart melts forward. Maybe the knees spread. Hips back towards heels. Forehead can touch the ground. You can kind of pray your hands behind the back. So bending the elbows helps us take all that tension out of the triceps, out of the shoulders. You can do this with the blocks underneath the elbows, but I also like to use the mat. Child's pose with prayer hands is just one of the best, easy, quick ways to release from out of the shoulders and out of the back as well. So this is one of our restorative poses, either with the arms long or to bring a nice release through the triceps, through the shoulders. Bend the elbows, pray your hands behind the back, palms can touch. And that was our second stability drill. Now coming up when you're ready. Oh man. Woo-hoo. We'll come back to our tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. From here you can extend the legs long. Coming into plank pose. And what we want to carefully do is come into a shoulder tap. Without trying to tip the hips, the feet might decide to spread to a comfortable position. And we want to try to tap the shoulders without interrupting the level of the hips. So we want the hips to remain level. We're really engaging the core. And we're really with control, lifting up that hand to tap the shoulder. Come back down to release. Other side. So the goal is to find the power in that one arm pressing into the ground, that one hand pressing into the ground, and lift up slowly. Tap down, release, engage the core. Other side, tap up, down, release. So we want to go for 10 shoulder taps. Maybe just 5 on each side to start. Maybe 2 on each side. This is your practice. You decide. I'm going to do 1 more on each side. And then we're going to make our way back down. Drop the knees. Hips back for our child's pose. That's a really challenging exercise. So take your time. Catch your breath in your child's pose. That one actually wore me out a little bit, so we'll move on. So, although a lot of these are shoulder mobility exercises, these also double as core stabilizers as well, because in many of the positions that we're working the shoulders, we have no choice but to also engage the core. That's just how it works. The body is a kinetic chain. All right, let's move into our core portion, and then you guys will be all set. Or we'll do a core and a cool down. So we'll come into a seated position. These core exercises will primarily be working the core, but you may feel it in other parts of the body as well. We have boat pose, which is going to look like this. We'll come into a seated position, walking the feet in as much as we can, keeping the knees lifted and engaged, pulling the knees into our chest, if you will. And then you'll begin to lift the arms out in front of you first and lean back. As you lean back, you'll feel the core tighten and engage, and then you can lift the feet. The feet can come in line with the knees as you lean back. And you can shoot the arms forward, roll those shoulders back, sit up nice and tall through the spine. This creates a lot of intensity in the core. Don't hold the breath. Just engage the core. And if you want a little more, you can take the legs higher. Bring the feet together. Be prepared to fall in and out of boat pose. Our goal to hold for this boat pose would be about 20 seconds. Maybe longer if you can. And don't be afraid to fall. It's okay to fall. You'll get right back into it at your own pace. Arms out nice and long. Spine is stacked. We want the chest open, heart open. Option, of course, to extend the legs to the sky. Maybe grab at the back of the ankles or the shins. Let's go for 10 more seconds. Longer challenge if you can. And release when you're ready. I had no choice. I was going down. Now for our second core exercise. This is probably one of my least favorites, but it's very effective. So we're going to roll all the way down to the ground. Let the head touch the ground. Let the legs extend long. You're going to reach the arms out in front of you to the sides of the body. And you might feel some space between the low back and the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the toes together. Point the toes. Engage the quads. And we're going to roll the shoulders up. This is going to help us to engage the core. Now, as the shoulders roll up, the legs are going to lift as well. Keep finding an even pace of breath while you're here, but feel the core engage. Really tuck chin into chest, and if you can, reach those arms up and overhead while the legs reach off the ground as well. The toes can be pointed, quads engaged, and we want to hold this hollow hold for 30 seconds. I've been here for about, let's say, 15. So we got 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Keep those arms and legs up. 9, 8, 7, 6. If that's too hard, bring the knees into chest. 5. Keep the arms reaching overhead. 4. Keep the shoulder blades off the ground. 3, 2, release on 1. Bring the head, neck, shoulders down. Let everything be heavy. All right, y'all. This has been more than a notion. So we had a 30-second hold there. And you can start small with 10 seconds, with 5 seconds. Work yourself up to 20, 30 seconds. So that was our core exercise number 2. Number 3, so we'll lie back down, reach the arms up and overhead. And then if you want to, one hand can be used to support you. We're going to roll up and reach for opposite leg. So it can be one hand to leg or both hands reaching up leg. But let's roll up for this crunch for 10 on each side. Ten crunches for the leg. And then we'll switch sides. Use the inhale to extend. Exhale to crunch. And that was my last one. So I did 10 on each side for 20 altogether. Now, if that was a little too challenging for you, you could also keep the hands down to the sides of the body and bring those knees into chest. We're going to extend the legs to the sky and lift the hips up. Now, the feet can come together. The toes can point as we lower the legs and hover them off the ground so we don't touch the ground with the feet. Inhale, push up, then exhale, slowly lower down. Or vice versa, whatever breath pattern works for you here. But we can go for 10. So I'm on my 5th one now. 6. Send those hips up. Come back down. Softly lower the legs without touching the ground. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Brace the core. Last one. We'll come down and we'll reset. Now, we're at the cool down portion, meaning that I get to show you all the drills I think will be good to help you to relax after this. If you have a yoga wheel, feel free to bring it in. Feel free to let it decompress you. Oh my God. Feel free to let it take you over. I love my yoga wheel. I haven't had one in a minute. So to have one again is a blessing. But if you don't have one, totally okay. This is what I would recommend for you if you didn't have one. Moving that out the way. You bring the knees into chest. Open the arms wide to a T shape, which I cannot technically do right now. And I'm going to sit the knees over to the left side of the mat. Turning my gaze to the right. Y'all couldn't hear it, but my back totally cracked. And if my arm could open out wide to that T shape, then I would have let the hands, the back of the hands, so where the fingernails are, I would let that part touch the ground while I turn my gaze away. Since I can't touch the ground, I'm still turning gaze away. Bringing one hand to the top of the knee to help you twist a little more. Then inhale, come up. We're going to switch the knees to opposite side. Bring a hand on top of the knees to guide them. If you have the space, you can stretch out the arms to T-shape. If you don't have the space, you'll make do with what you've got. Gaze will turn away from the legs. The knees can come together. And just enjoy that twist. Twists are so yummy, especially after inversions or a lot of tension building in the upper back, in the core. It's just good to just let it all go. Come back to spine or come back to neutral when you're ready. You can come up. We'll grab the back of the leg. If you have a wall, you can use the wall to come into a shoulder stretch. So it's a good way to stretch out any tension. I don't know how this would look without the wall, but I'll use my wheel. If you have yoga blocks, you can use yoga blocks. Just bringing the hands together, or maybe bringing one hand to block if you're using two blocks. And just allowing the heart to melt through. Bringing a deep stretch into the shoulders. And if you don't have a block or you like another approach, you can come into child's pose. You can bend the hands, come to prayer hands with the palms together behind the back. And that's a great stretch for the triceps, for the shoulders. You can also do a threaded needle. So coming back into tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. You can inhale, lift one hand to the sky. Exhale, twist and thread that needle or hand through. Opposite arm can reach out in front. Or you can take that hand and bring it behind the back. And we want to try to open the shoulders while we're here. Hold it for as often or as long as you like. You might do these a few times per day just because you're building new muscles and it requires deeper stretching, more frequent stretching. Taking your twist to the other side, thread the needle through. Top hand can reach further or behind the back. And then bring that top hand back down. Lift it back up. Come back to center. Anything that you want to do from here on is in your practice and you're welcome to do. Thank you guys for joining me for day 1 of the Bottoms Up Challenge. I hope you're feeling like more prepped and primed and ready to achieve your best inversion ever. Literally ever. If you stick with this program, if you show up every single day and do the work, you're gonna leave with an amazing inversion that you're super confident to do in front of other people. Doesn't matter who's watching, you're gonna hit that. So thank you guys for joining. I hope you all enjoyed the practice for today. I'll see you all in day 2 of our Bottoms Up Challenge. Much love, peace and blessings.